Are you searching for direction in life? Have you given all of yourself to everyone else and have very little for yourself? Have you put you on the back burner while taking care of the responsibilities of everything and everybody else while neglecting yourself? Life coach and mentor Mischell Gee has told us the wait is over. In this new movement called The Green Room, she's assembled friends of every walk of life that will share with us transformative principles that will change our life's trajectory. Come join us for the Green Room experience. Your life will never be the same.
Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome to this week's edition of The Green Room. I'm so glad that you've tuned in with us this week. And we've got a treat today. This is what happens in the Green Room. The Green Room is a birthplace. It's where ideas come together. It's where women come together. It's where we bounce off our feelings, our facts, our findings. We put it together and we come up with a product. And we go and we run the world, right? We run the world? Yeah. Who runs the world? Girl. That's right. It happens in the Green Room. So we're so excited today to have someone of this caliber to be our guest this week. She is the owner of J. White Enterprises. Her name is Janay White, and you all may know her as the GOAT of credit. And she is the GOAT of credit. And so we have her here this week. And so what we've been talking about in the Green Room is waiting. The wait is over. As women, we've been told to wait. Wait, women should be seen and not heard. Yeah. Sit over there, wait your turn. Wait until, wait because, wait and see. Wait they might. Just so many waits. We've gotten wait after wait. The wait is over. We're no longer waiting in the Green Room. We're possessing the land. We've taken authority over everything that God has given us and all the opportunities that are now ours. And so with that being said, I was thinking this morning about a wait story, and I'm going to ask you about your wait story in a minute. I see my sister in the studio audience today, and this wait story is dedicated to her. As a kid, you're always told to wait. And one of the things you wait for as a kid is Christmas. And when you're waiting on Christmas night, who are you waiting on? You're waiting on Santa Claus, y'all. I tell you the truth. She's in this audience. She can verify this story. She woke up from her sleep one night. It was Christmas Eve, and she saw Santa Claus leaving. She ran up front because she just knew our toys would be under the tree. Guess what? The toys were not on the tree, but she saw him out on the roof. She saw him. She's 50 and she's still saying she saw Santa on the roof. And he was leaving. And so she was so upset. She came back to the room and she was crying. We're not getting anything for Christmas. Santa has just taken off. We've waited all year. We've been good. We've gotten a good report card. We waited. So she said, what are we going to do? I said, we're going to wake Mama up. So we went in the room and we woke Mama up and told her, look, we saw Santa on the roof. He left. He didn't bring us any toys. And so as though we hadn't been waiting 12 months already, my mother did like mothers tell children on Christmas Eve, go back to sleep and wait. And if you wait, when you wake up this time, Santa would have been back. He didn't have enough room on his sleigh and he had to go and get your toys. So just wait, go to sleep and wait. And we went to sleep and guess what happened when we woke up? Toys. We had toys because it's not about the wait. It's about the waiting. And if you're waiting patiently, good things happen. And so, Janay, would you tell us your wait story today?
Yes. First of all, thank you for having me. I'm so nervous and your voice is so soothing. So it's relaxing me. Waiting has seemed to be the story of my life. I had to wait. So they call me Janay. I'm Janay, the credit GOAT White now. But my wait story is I had bad credit at 18 years old. I was never, ever educated on credit. I was very ignorant on the subject. Well, my mom always did teach me to work. She taught me to always go to work, be independent, don't depend on anybody for anything. So I had 2 jobs at the time, and I go into ViStar Credit Union and cash my check at 18, and they offered me a $500 loan. So I was like, okay, thank you. Give me the $500. And I went across the street to the mall, and I never paid ViStar back their money. So I had bad credit for 7 years. I sat in that bad credit. And you talk about waiting. I had to wait to be able to sign for a car. I had to wait to buy a house. I had to wait to get a credit card because I ruined my credit. So in that time of waiting, once that 7 years of bad credit was up, I knew that I never wanted to wait for those things again. By then, I was working 2 jobs again, and I ended up working 2 jobs for over 10 years, which was another period that I had to wait to follow my dreams. However, when I finally got out of that bad credit, I said I would never, ever, ever wait again to be able to accomplish my goals. I don't want a bank telling me no, that I can't buy me and my children a house, that I can't have reliable transportation to get back and forth to both of my jobs, that I can't have a high limit credit card if I want to start a business or if I wanted to go shopping or go on a vacation. So I decided that that would be the last time that I make myself wait for anything financially.
That's such an inspiring story, to kind of pull you up by the bootstraps, learn from your mistake story. What did you do? What did you do that transformed you from not having to wait after having had bad credit and having to go through that period? What did you do to make you Jay White of Jay White Enterprises on all the billboards as you passed through the city?
Yes. So I went to the downtown library and I started checking out every book that had to do with credit and finances. And I said that I was going to educate myself. I was no longer going to be ignorant and allow that to be something that's used against me because I don't know better. Why don't I know better? Because my mom didn't teach me. Why didn't she teach me? Because my grandmother didn't know what to teach her. So I wanted to break that cycle and say that myself, I wouldn't be uneducated anymore on credit and finances, and neither would my children.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. So you're talking about ultimately putting your children in a place that you weren't for possibilities of generational wealth through having good credit and maybe some entrepreneurs. Talk about some of the things that you do and you teach at Jay White Enterprise.
Yes. So basically, we try to funnel everything back to us so that you never have to leave, or once you graduate the program, you graduate on to something else. So we start out educating you on your personal credit, because first you have to understand how to repair your own credit, why personal credit is important, how to properly utilize it and leverage it. Once you understand that, we graduate you to our business credit program. We teach you why having a business is so important, why so many rich people have businesses. We teach you how to leverage business credit, how to obtain it, how to build a business credit profile. Then we teach you how to buy properties in your business's name, how to buy vehicles in your business name, how to properly file your taxes for your business. So you're like Jeff Bezos when he's making billions of dollars and paying $0 in taxes. We teach you how to secure Airbnbs and just how to make multiple streams of income, all by leveraging your good credit.
And everything you teach is legal.
Everything I teach is completely legal. I've never been to jail. I don't have a criminal record. I used to work for the government for 10 years. So I retired from the Department of Children and Families in 2020.
I just thought I'd throw that out. Was it legal? I have been the beneficiary of your ingenuous and in your knowledge where it comes to credit. I have been a personal credit customer. I have been a business credit customer. You elevated my business. I believe in what you do. I think what you're doing is what we should be doing as women in our community, lifting others. Sure, we all have circumstances and situations that happen, but we don't have to stay in the shape that we're in. What's the first step that these ladies need to take?
The first step that I would take is just shifting my mindset. It's funny that she asked me that question, is everything that I do legal? It's because we don't know, because we haven't been taught. I know my parents and my grandparents, they taught me to go to work forever and just pay my bills. Don't use credit. If I can't afford it, I don't need it. If I don't have the cash to pay for it. And that's just simply not the way. The United States is a country that thrives on credit. So you need to have good credit to reach those millions upon millions of dollars. Most rich people never even had actual money. They had good credit. So it's those things that we don't know that I always preach to people, to educate yourself first. Don't just take my word for it or anybody on social media or the internet. Go and do your research. Go and do the groundwork. Go and pull data and say, okay, if this group of people works all the time, but they're the group that gets only the $600 stimulus checks. They're the group that is always behind. They're the group that has to wait 30 days to pull from their own 401k in order to use the money. And they have to give a reason on why they want to use the money. So it's things like that that I always want my community to educate themselves. I think that's the first thing you can do.
Okay, so educate themselves. So we're together on the first step. The first step is education. And what better place to educate yourself than the J. White Credit University? Tell me about the Credit University.
So I love the Credit University. The Credit University is literally myself. It's me. It's me looking at everybody that walks through those doors as I wish I had somebody when I was uneducated on credit like myself. So I see myself into every person that walks through the doors. I see my mom. I see my grandmother. And it's designed to be like college. So I know that I'm around a lot of AKAs, which means you are very
Shameless
educated
plug.
women. We have doctors in the audience. We have lawyers in the audience. So we're around very educated women. So when you went to college, you had number one, you had to be accepted, which means you already had a certain mindset in order to even be accepted to go to somebody's university. Then you had to pay to go there. So they didn't just say, hey, because you're very beautiful, Miss Mischell, you can come to our school. No, you had to pay in order to be able to attend that school. Once you was paid to attend that school, they didn't say, okay, thank you so much, Miss Mischell. Here's your degree and you go have a nice day. No, you had to go to class. You had to take exams. Of course, you did extracurricular activities. You pledged and became an AKA. So you got to experience a lot of different things, and you also got to build a network just by going to a university. And at the end, you got an education, and you got a degree to award you for that education, which led you into a nice career and a beautiful life and a successful business and talk show and everything like that. That is the goal of the J. White Credit University, is that you come in and you're not paying me for an 800 credit score. You're paying me to show you exactly what I did to get to my 800 credit score. And then if you put in the work, if you attend the classes and the seminars that we hold for free, if you attend the life coaching classes that I pay for my own life coach, for my audience as well, because we believe that the way you do one thing is the way you do everything.
Yes.
So if your credit is messed up, then your life is probably messed up. Well, how are you going to pay your bills if you're up all night thinking about how you're going to feed your children? So we try to put you through everything just like a college would. So now not only do you have good credit, you have a good life.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And this is the kind of news. This is the kind of news and the kind of information that we need in our community. We need to know that services are out there. And what did you say, how much it costs you for the J. White Credit University?
Yeah, so we have different prices. We want you to give us a call at 904-834-5116. Our website is jwhite-enterprises.com, because everyone's situation is different. We do not like to take anybody's money, because you may be in a situation where you have only $20K of debt. Well, why would I allow you to pay me and you can put that money towards your debt? So we always like people to call, because there's no two credit reports that are the same. It's like me saying, well, what bra size do you wear? I'm going to buy that same exact bra size.
Right. That's funny. It's good to know that we've got those kind of resources in our community, and that we've got some forward-thinking people. I know I registered a couple of days ago. You've got a marketing webinar that's coming out. Tell us what you're going to be doing with marketing.
Okay, thank you. I'm so glad you asked about that. So in having multiple businesses, of course, I'm always studying. So I'm a bookworm. I'm always studying, and in studying on how to, of course, increase my revenue, I learned how to market. So then I decided that I became not only the credit GOAT, but I'm the marketing GOAT as well.
All right.
Because I'm really, really good at marketing. And I noticed that in our community, again, we're not taught how to market our business. That's what separates us from 5 figures to 6 figures to even 7 figures. Is how good is your marketing? Do you know your target audience? Do you know how to lead your target audience in to trust you and to want to buy what you're selling?
All of that. We've got to go to commercial. We'll be right back.
So you've been watching the show. Would you like to be a content provider yourself and develop a show for the Inspire Network? Please give us a call today at 904-389-5592 or go to www.connecttv.info to submit a show idea. Do you love video production? Would you like to have a career in video production but don't know where to start? Your problem is you have no one to teach you. Well, the Inspire Television Network is initiating its apprenticeship program. We'll teach you video production, how to set up the simple camera operation, post-production, and advanced editing. Imagine sitting down with an expert and being taught weekly how to do it. It's a 6-month program that requires a minimum of 10 hours a week of hands-on training and 3 hours a week of classroom training. You've always wanted to make movies or learn production. This is the perfect program for you. Give us a call today at 904-389-5592 or sign up at www.learntv.today. Would you like to reach more people with your message, but it seems like you've reached the social media glass ceiling? Has it been a nightmare for you to have the content but can't attract the right viewers? Are you frustrated because you're not getting the results that you desire? Let us give you a precise 72-hour plan that'll refocus your strategy with the Inspired Network Branding Department. We can take your business or project to the next level. For more information, give us a call.
You're watching the Inspired Network, and maybe you're watching us on social media. Immediately go to your Roku device, press Add Channel, and download us today.
Are you having trouble reaching the masses? Are you preaching messages and no one seems to be hearing you? There's only a few people on your Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. Then you need the Maximizer by Chrome Media. For more information about this advanced internet connecting technology, contact us today and see how we can help you reach thousands every week within 7 days. No additional equipment is needed and no need for advanced training. Go to MaximizerNow.org or call us at 904-389-5592.
Hi, I'm Lorenzo Patterson. This is my wife, Barbara Patterson. We are the owners of Excellent Housing, LLC. Now, in this business, we are real estate investors, of which we buy and wholesale houses, and we also remodel other owned houses. If you have a house that you need to be remodeled, we'll subcontract it and bring that house into beauty. We're asking you to look on our brochure on Facebook and check us out.
And the advantage that we have being real estate investors is that we are able to repair our own homes because my husband can subcontract. And so I'm excited. So just check us out, Excellent Housing LLC. We make it happen.
Welcome back, and we're sitting here with Janay White, the credit GOAT, the marketing GOAT, and we're so excited today. You were talking about, before the break, about the things that we need to do, the steps to take in order to make sure our credit is of such that we don't have to wait. We've got several young people in the audience here today, some recent college graduates, and I see one that's coming to the microphone to ask you a question.
I just graduated with my bachelor's in biology, and I know that student loans can impact your credit, and I would like to know, where could I start?
That's a great question. Student loans are, for most of us, the oldest thing on our credit, because as soon as we graduated high school and went to college, they let us get into all this debt without educating us on how to properly utilize it, do we need it, not apply for grants and things like that. So I always tell people, as long as the student loans are in good standing and they're not harming your credit, which means they're not reporting negatively, if they're in deferment or forbearance, then they're not hurting your credit at all. Well, how credit also works is debt to income ratio. So right now, what are you paying a month for your student loans, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm not paying anything right now.
So that's good, because credit goes by what you're paying out. So right now, you're paying $0 out of your income for those student loans. So right now, I wouldn't let that bother me. I would start building credit, because are those the only things that are on your credit, are student loans?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
And I'm paying on my car as well.
You have a car?
Yes.
So that's perfect. Have you ever missed a car note?
No.
So then you have credit. So now you just need to open up a credit card. So I would go to the same bank that approved my car loan, and I would apply for a credit card, because you can't have good credit without a credit card. Credit cards make up 30% of your score. So once they approve you for the credit card, just pay the balance in full every month. That way you're never in debt. After about 3 months of doing that, you should be in the really high 700s. And then you should come see me so I can finish coaching you one-on-one.
Thank you.
I'm so glad she said that and she asked that question. And yes, you should come and see her. We're going to be partnering doing some amazing things. The Green Room experience over at the J. White Enterprises, making sure all of our sister friends become credit worthy or become worthier. Or if you have a business and you'd like to establish your business, we're going to be partnering to make sure that those businesses are established, that you get the credit that you need in your business. I tell you, she works. I have gotten the credit that I need in my business. She is the GOAT. She is the GOAT. She is the GOAT. I see someone else coming to the microphone.
Good evening. I am LaFari Davis. I do have a question. So if someone did decide to take part in a credit restoration program, what's the time period of seeing the increase in the score?
That's a great question. So credit is a case-by-case scenario. There are no two credit reports that are the same. It's just like asking a cancer patient, how long is it going to be before, I go into remission? So I wouldn't know that unless I specifically had your credit report in front of me. Credit is about data. So FICO is a very, very complex score system. It has a very, very complex algorithm. Nobody can crack the code to FICO. And of course, I would be a multi-billionaire if I could. So your credit is going to do a number of things. It's data. It's meant to do that. I've seen people credit scores go down, but they still get approvals. So I would just have to look at your credit report to tell you the time frame. But like I do tell people, if you stop bad habits and then you begin good habits, then you should start seeing a positive reflection in your credit report, which doesn't always amount to a positive credit score right away.
Thank you.
I hope that answers your question.
It did. Thank you.
You mentioned bad habits. Can you tell us what some of the bad habits are that we need to stop?
Oh, yes. So I'll give you an example of one of the bad habits I had. So I remember when I was little, my mom had this nice furniture and she got it from Rent-A-Center. So when Rent-A-Center, when she wouldn't pay the bill, Rent-A-Center would come to the door and knock on the door, and she would tell us that we would get a spanking if we opened the door. So that taught me that anytime I can't pay a bill, I just need to run from it, right? So that's one of the bad habits that we have to stop. We as a people sometimes don't know that we make things worse by running from them. So when you go to a bank, let's say that, God forbid, somebody loses their job and now they have a mortgage. Instead of just not paying the mortgage, you would call the bank and say, hey, you know what? I lost my job. I'm going through a really hard financial time. Can you put some of the payments on the back end? That way it doesn't affect my credit. So those are some of the bad habits that we have. We think that we should run from our bills and then it'll just go away, or we'll deal with whatever consequences after that, when sometimes you could just be honest with the creditor or lender.
That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. It's always best, sometimes the truth just works.
Yes.
The she not home, and it's you answering the phone and all of that. Those people know it's you. Sometimes the truth just works, especially with the pandemic. There were different things that different companies, mortgage companies, credit card companies and lending companies were doing different things. Talk about some of the things as some people are coming out of the pandemic but still experiencing some financial disparities. Would you speak to some of the things that they were doing or can be possibly done to help you with your mortgage or with your car note and so forth?
So first we had our Florida, where they gave away so much money. They paid so many mortgages and paid up lease rents that were due. On tenants' behalf, they gave away stimulus checks. They gave away so much money to business owners to keep those businesses open. Banks were very lenient. I remember at 121 Financial Credit Union, we didn't even have to apply. If you were a member there and you had a loan, they automatically deferred all loan payments for 90 days during the pandemic. So there definitely was some help and some relief out there. I got about 6 loans from different banks and credit unions that I didn't even have to do a credit check for, where they gave out like $5,000 per credit union if you were, during the pandemic, if you needed it. So there was a lot of help out there.
And so when you talk about getting loans, I know what you do with them, but would you educate our audience? So you get these loans. Jay White surely doesn't need it, but what does Jay White do when she gets these loans?
So Jay White loves loans. We were taught to stay away from debt, but again, that was coming from a place of not being fully educated. There's good debt and there's bad debt. So I always accrue millions upon millions of dollars in good debt because, so for one example, is real estate. I always leverage my credit to buy real estate. And I'm an and person. Some of us are people. And by that, I mean this. So let's say you have $200,000 saved up. And then you say, okay, I want to buy an investment property. And I'm going to take $100K, buy the property. I'm going to take another $100K of my cash and fix the property up. Once I spend all $200,000 of my dollars, I can then sell the property for, let's say, $300,000. So you're going to use your money and you're going to take that money and invest into real estate and make an extra $100,000. Me, I'm going to go to a lender. I'm going to get the lender to give me the cash to buy the house. I'm going to get the lender to give me the cash to fix up the house, and then I'm going to sell that same house for $300K as well. So now I have a house that's worth $300K, and I still have my $200,000 in cash when you took your cash and you replaced it for the house.
You know, you did a post the other day that I just found to be so true and apropos, and I wanted you to share it with the studio audience here today about banks. What's your thought on banks? I like the way you kind of put that out there.
Banks are the biggest pimps. So people don't know that whatever you put into the bank, they're allowed to loan out up to 10 times of that to other people. So if you put $10,000 in the bank, now from your $10,000, they're allowed to loan me $100,000. I'm going to go borrow that $100,000 that they never even really had, and now I owe them $100,000 plus interest. We have millions upon millions of people doing that every day, getting credit cards, auto loans, home equity lines of credit, first-time home buyers, investment properties, all kind of loan products that the banks offer that they're loaning out to us as consumers for money that they really don't even have. So they're leveraging other people's money. So if millionaires and billionaires are doing it, why aren't we doing it? Why don't we leverage other people's money? That's the reason that we're always behind, because we were never taught that. We were taught to go to work and work hard to our skin and bones for our money, and that's just not the right way to become rich and create generational wealth and become financially free in the United States of America.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I see someone coming to the microphone.
By force.
Hello. Hi. Hello. First, I want to say I'm a huge fan of you. I follow you on like all social media.
Thank you.
And I talk about you all the time. So my question is, my name's Darian.
Hi.
And I'm the owner of Plan D Life Coaching, and I coach preteen and teenage girls. So what would you say for preteens and teenagers is the very first thing they can do to start their credit journey?
I love that question. Nice to meet you. Did you get your life coaching certification under Coach Mischell?
Of course I did.
Okay, embrace you. I see you. That's my life coach.
Yes.
And that's who life coaches all of my clients. Just want to throw that out there. Teenagers. So I always encourage teenagers and parents of teenagers and kids, period. Make them watch YouTube. Make them Google search. There are games on credit. Oh my gosh, FICOGalaxy.com, I want to say. I'll get it to Mrs. Michelle and get her to send it out to everybody. But there are games that teach you about credit. Take them to the library. Let them check out books that are for their audience. But YouTube is the biggest platform. It's free. Kids are already on it. I always challenge my teenagers in my house. They have to give me 30 minutes every day of some kind of financial literacy, whether it's on YouTube. I love documentaries on Netflix. It's one documentary called How Money Works. I love that show. So it really breaks down how money works, how student loan works, how credit cards work, how gambling works. So they just need to always be consumed in those things, and that is what will stick in their mind.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So what age is too young or too early to start thinking about credit or having credit or establishing credit?
So me being addicted to credit, I don't think there's any age that's too young. My daughter is 5, and she knows what credit is. She knows what credit cards are. She knows about loans. She knows about going to the bank. She knows that she's supposed to have good credit. And I just asked her little questions like, what does credit means to you? And she says, credit means I'm happy. So I like it because it gets her mind thinking on, okay, what is credit? And I know that I need to make sure that I take care of it when I get older.
Now, as a parent, what do you do for your child to give them a boost, or a grandparent, to give them a boost, a step up? Maybe I hear people talk about adding them as authorized users and so forth. Would you speak to what we could do as grandparents and parents and godparents in order to give our kids a boost up with credit?
So number one, just talk about it with them at the dinner table. Simple conversations. You will be surprised how much that sticks with them and how much that resonates with them. That wow, my grandma talked with me about this over dinner. Number two, I always say add them as an authorized user to your credit cards that have perfect payment history that you barely use. Never co-sign. And I call my children my little walking 800 credit scores because they will never, ever, ever have bad credit. But that also is another leverage for you as well and for their parents, because I know my son, he's 15. I can't wait until he turns 18. At 18, he's going to buy his first house. Well, he's going to be a baby still, so I'm not going to put him out and make him live in that house. But then he's going to be able to generate rental income from that house. So now he gets to be free at 18 years old. I don't have to push him into college if he doesn't want to be, if he doesn't want to go. He can focus on art. He's an artist, so he can open his own tattoo shop. He can say, hey, Mom, I want to take a year off. He can be free to do whatever it is that he needs to do so that he's a happy and successful adult.
So credit is a family affair.
It's a family affair. It's a generational affair. It's a community affair. And I really just want to give a huge kudos to our community because I think that we are woke now. We are waking up, and not only are we waking up, we're waking each other up.
Yeah.
The fact that we're here and you invited me on your show, I'm so grateful to talk about my crazy addiction with credit. I'm so grateful to be here, and this is what it's about.
Well, you heard it here. This is the Credit Goat, and we thank you. The wait is over. That means we don't have to wait. We can have good credit now. It's been an amazing evening here in the Green Room. In Mark, the 12th chapter and the 17th verse, it says, Jesus said unto them, give back to Caesar what is Caesar's and to God what is God's. The takeaway from this week is plain and simple. Pay your bills. The most important method of maintaining your credit for the long haul is through education. Whether you're in need of credit repair or just want to stay informed, credit education services are a valuable resource. Being educated provides you with actionable insights and tangible ways to boost your sense of financial security. We heard it here tonight from my sister friend, the credit goat herself, Jay White of Jay White Enterprise, offered us some very invaluable information. Everyone deserves a source of financial education. Money talks, but credit holds a conversation. I'm sounding the alarm. The wait is over. Go and possess the land in which the Lord thy God has given you. This is me, Mischell Gee, here in the Green Room.
The following show is a paid commercial program. The views and opinions expressed within do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the staff and management of the Inspired Network.
Our communities have struggled. It's time to rebuild and heal. Now, it's time that we follow the trusted voices and get vaccinated.
We are the heartbeat of the community.
Jacksonville Coronavirus Education and Engagement Task Force.
Hi, Jacksonville. My name is Mischell Holmes with SVR Realty. I am your home buying and selling specialist in the Jacksonville area. I can help anyone, military included, buy a home, sell one quickly. If you have any questions on your home value, please reach out to me for a free home evaluation. Do you need help with your VA loan benefit? My assistance? Call me, Mischell Holmes.
Do you need a morning prayer line? A place you can call to hear from God? Call the International Prayer Council Intercessory Prayer Line, Monday through Saturday at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 904-299-7241. Your financial support keeps the ministry alive. You can be a blessing by sowing via Cash App today at $TeachJax, or you can text to give at 833-481-1524 and text the word